Welcome to the video. Today we are going to be talking about DIY equipment and how it is useful. DIY equipment is a mad thing. It's like the ultimate win if you do it right, because you can DIY, but you can also DIY badly, which is the thing. If you fail, then it's no one else's fault but your own. The reason why I've done a lot of DIY is because I don't always have money, so I just make what I need if I can, which usually I don't try and make things that I can't make, like a Steadicam. I can't make a Steadicam. I am not a skilled craftsman. There's a lot of things I can't make, and I know my limits. That's why I don't try and make them. But the things that I am able to make, I have made when I've needed them and don't have the money to go and buy a product that is that thing that I'm trying to make. So we're going to go through all the equipment that I've used that is DIY. So that's including everything from the past, the ancient past, up until now, what I use. So yeah, let's get into it. Item number one is my first ever tripod. So I made this tripod back yonks ago when I needed a tripod and I didn't have any money, and I kind of wanted to do long exposure stuff because I was seeing people doing that on Instagram, and I'm like, hey, I want to do that. And I needed a tripod because I wanted to go out and take photos. I just didn't want to sit on a desk or something like that. So I made my own tripod. Big tripod, the big clumsy, the big crazy looking inflexible tripod. This is my first tripod that I ever made. First tripod I ever owned. It served its purpose, but it was not the greatest thing. I mounted my camera on this a couple of times and the camera almost fell off. So, bit of a dodgy job. It's a pretty simple design. It's just plywood legs, so it's super bendy. I don't know. Yeah, I just used whatever we had downstairs. Plywood base as well. Just 3 hinges, nuts and bolts going through, and there's one in the middle, which is the proper thread for the camera. So I just screw the camera on really dodgily, and there would be another bolt there that I would screw up to try and kind of meet it to kind of keep it still, but it never worked. It really didn't. So the next DIY item is my DIY tripod with quick release plate and everything. So this DIY project was my second. It was my second attempt at a tripod, and here it is this little stand here. It's actually this stand accompanied with this head that is the second item. Pretty much just a music stand that I had lying around. Got the top off that. I kind of fashioned it into some little weird contraption thing. I had the idea of making a quick release plate. So it's like a small bit that you would screw onto your camera, then you would slot it in there, and then you would use this nut or bolt or whatever you want to call it, and you would screw it in and basically fasten it into the mount here. The first time I did it, I just used the glue, the liquid nails here, and that wasn't strong enough, so that kind of just bent and didn't hold it in place properly. So the second time I drilled some nails in there and drilled some screws in there, and basically fastened that like super tight, and even then it was bending. So kind of a budgie job, but this, I'm very proud of this one. This was a really hard one to do, but I really like this one. Item number 3 is similar to item number 2 in that it uses the same stand as a mount for the head, but I made a new head to hold a microphone. I still use this one today. I was using it in today's video, and basically what it is just a little T bracket there that I can put onto the stand on some plywood, and then there's some bolts and stuff to kind of lift up this bit here, which is a Lego piece of all things, to slide my microphone into and fasten it in there and basically have a microphone stand. So that's pretty cool. I would never use this to boom, just because it wouldn't give me enough length that I would want, and because it's just bodge, man, and it's clumsy. Item number 4. Item number 4 is something I made using poly pipe, nuts and bolts, pieces of wood, and a head off a really cheap $20 tripod. So I got a $20 tripod just so that I could use to replace the one that I made, which wasn't so great and wasn't so steady. So I bought that one, and it was an amazing lightweight tripod. And later on, when I got even a more sturdier one, a more solid one, I no longer use this tripod as much. And I wanted a camera rig, so I used the head off that tripod to make the camera rig. Ow. Let's try that again. Item number 4. So item number 4 is a camera rig. So I made this out of poly pipe and like some nuts and bolts and a piece of wood there. That's pine, I think. A $20 tripod head. So the tripod head wasn't $20. The actual whole tripod itself was $20. It was super cheap from Harvey Norman. I was like, yes, I got $20. I'm going to go buy a tripod. So I bought the tripod, and it was a decent tripod actually. Pretty happy with that tripod. It smelled funny though. Plastic just smelled funny. Yeah, anyway. So I made this so I could mount my camera onto here. I'll actually give you a demonstration. And obviously it's not going to be level to the par, but I've done the best I can to kind of level the position in there. And I've got like I've got a screw thread up here that I can put a phone mount thing on. And I can put that and I can use that as a live view monitor. I've got a flash mount here, which I actually use my mic on to put my mic in there so that I'm not getting shakes from the camera, or if I have a noisy lens, I'm not getting any autofocus stuff. Anyway, so that's that one. I'm pretty happy with that one. Haven't used it a lot just because it's big and it's in public. You're like, you look like a spaz. So number 5. Item number 5 is that same $20 tripod, but because it doesn't have a head, I had to make a new one to fit my new tripod head. So what I did is I basically got a piece of pine wood, drilled a hole in it so I could fit over, and I just screwed into it and then put some nuts and bolts and stabilize it. Then what I did is this thing is actually it's a specialized thread that they use for mics and things like that, and weird lights and whatnot. Camera body cap thing, and I just put that on there to put it down and keep it fastened and give it kind of a smoother surface to screw onto. So yeah, I pretty much just put my normal tripod head onto that one, and it does pretty well. It's super lightweight as well. This is why I love this tripod. Oh yeah, and at the bottom I got like little threads and stuff, because when that wasn't in there, it would just get in there and it wouldn't come out. So that's why I need these things, so it doesn't hide from me. DIY item number 6. So number 6 is a small item, but a very, very useful one. It is a lens cap with a screw through the middle, so it can act as a kind of lens holder when you're out and about, and you can have it at the bottom of your camera. Here it is. It's my little cap-a-rooney thing. So this is just a normal lens cap with a proper thread. I don't know what thread it is. Is it 35mm thread or something? I don't know. I'll put a little annotation over here what thread it is. But yeah, this is the thread that you see on like tripods that screws into cameras. What you do with this one is you pretty much screw it onto the bottom of your camera. Get your lens and pop it in there, and that you can shake that around and it won't come off, and that's really handy if you're out and about taking photos and stuff like that. You can buy like cheap ones of these online, but I mean, I thought why spend a little tiny bit to get something that I can just make downstairs. I did, however, I actually filed down the surface of the nut, so it wasn't actually, is it a nut or a bolt? I don't know. So it wouldn't affect that front element, there, just so it wouldn't scratch it up and stuff like that. Well guys, that concludes the video. I hope you enjoyed. If you liked it, give it a like in the bottom. If you haven't subscribed yet, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe. That would be much appreciated. Yeah, and thank you for watching. Hopefully that gives you kind of an idea of stuff you can kind of make when you don't have the money to go out and buy a product. Sometimes it's good to kind of make your own stuff and not always rely on camera gear, and kind of be more independent in your filmmaking and your photography. So thank you for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next one.